In this tutorial, I will introduce to you the animation system in Unity. In order to do this, I'm going to import a 2D sprite sheet by going up here to Assets, Import New Asset. Then, I'm going to go and navigate to where I have this saved on my computer. Once I've found this asset, I'm going to select it and click Import. Next, I'm going to come over here to Texture Type and change it to Sprite. I'm going to change Sprite Mode to Multiple, and I'm going to hit Apply. Now in a previous tutorial, I showed you how to come over here to the sprite editor, open it up, slice your sprites, make sure that Unity sliced your sprites out correctly by checking where the boxes have encased your graphics, and hit Apply. If you followed me up until this point, you can actually close out of this window, hit this little arrow, and you will see 5 different sprites labeled 0 through 4, along with the name here, all attached to this one Sprite Sheet. They are now all their own individual objects. I'm going to come up here and go to Window, Animation. Please note that there is also a Window, Animator. Please don't get these two things confused. I will also open the Animator to show you the differences. The Animator is where we control switching between our animation states. If we go to Window Animation, this is where we actually create an animation, which is what this tutorial will focus on. In order to create an animation, we need to have some sort of sprite up here. So I'm going to click on this original sprite, and I'm going to click and drag it into my scene. Now that I have this sprite selected, I can click Create, and I will be prompted to name my new animation. I'm going to call this animation Idle, and I'm going to hit Save. Now I will be able to drag whatever sprites I want to whatever points I want here in Unity. Take a look. I'm going to drag this red circle, and I'm going to place it 5 seconds in from this animation. If we go back to the scene view, we'll see that our sprite starts out as a red circle. I'm now going to click this green square, and I'll move that back so that we start out with a green square and then we transition to a red circle. I am going to also place these other shapes 5 seconds away from one another. Now, when I hit play, it's going to look a little bit silly. It's just flipping through our different shapes and our different colors associated with those shapes. That's because we have individual sprites created here. But what would happen if we had a certain animation, say a person running in place, and we put each frame of the animation here? Well, the same effect would happen, except instead of seeing these different shapes transitioning, you would see the person actually running in place. So feel free to take out any sprite sheets that you've worked on. Be sure to save them as a PNG and follow closely what I showed you in changing the texture type in sprite mode. Then, after you've added one of your sprites to the scene, you could also mess around with these animation settings and, for example, change the number of samples per second, say from 60 to 30 or 25, and see how that would affect your animation.